Okay. Hello, guys. I'm excited to do another Tips and Tales Thursday. Tips. I don't know. We haven't decided on a name, but basically you can ask any questions because that's one of my favorite things about working with other people is sometimes they spark an idea in you or they say something in a way that finally clicks. And Annie does that a lot for me. And I just like surrounding myself by people who like to collaborate and do things. So we wanted to do this every Thursday. So you can send questions in because I realize this might not be a great time, but hey, this is when we're doing it. So Gilly actually said she had a couple questions, and I'm sure this is, and let me know if it's common for you guys. You don't know what to caption your reel or your TikTok, because I will say hands down, I can come up with the words to put on the video because those are short. You know, you want a hook, you want a call to action, maybe a little bit in the, but like when it goes to the caption part, I'm like, what the heck do I write? So some tips that I have found useful on posts that have done well or things that I find myself looking at is to tell a story. So usually down there is when I explain like why that audio means something, or I'm telling you about what I'm doing in the reel or why I'm doing that. And then another thing is information. And one of the hidden tools that I use a lot is actually Chat GTP. So I use that little formula that I shared once before. If you want to go back to the other videos or just comment down below and we can make sure to send it to you. But I will say like and so for example, I said as a mindset coach, can you write me a Instagram caption? And then I broke it down to, I said, as a mindset coach, can you write me the benefits of a cold shower and the mental toughness in a social media post? So the more information you give it, I didn't just say cold shower benefits because I take a cold shower every day and I've posted stuff before about the benefits. So I wanted to kind of switch this up and make it be more about like just the mental toughness. And I don't know if you guys know this, but after you write that, you can actually ask it. I was like, can you write it as a mermaid? So I had it and it gave me a list of 5 things, but instead of putting all 5 of those in the post, I'm deciding I'll put one of those today and then tomorrow I can post the other one. So I put a story plus information was like the things that I do. And also here's my secret weapon, and I kind of already mentioned it, is when you find things that you're drawn to. So like maybe you notice you're reading somebody else's caption. How can you be inspired by that but make it work for you? So like what about it did they say? Did they ask a question at the beginning? Did they do a hook? What did they do? And so a lot of times if you want to follow hashtags, that's how you can get some inspiration for topics to put as captions. I don't know what you wanna.
So I think what's really interesting is like before even captions, and can I break off captions? Or do you want me to stay on captions?
Break on captions real quick and then jump
Okay.
to another topic.
So for me, when it comes to captions, like I think I have a very different approach, and I'm learning to use Chat GPT to just write my stuff. Like I'm trying to trust it, but like I am such a like I want to say things that sound like me, and I do not sound like Chat GPT. Like I'm still working with my Chat GPT and trying to make it really personal, but like I have dyslexia, I have ADHD. Like my writing does not. It's very clearly written differently than a Chat GPT that uses like proper English and spelling and things like that. So for me, it's all about like customizing your Chat GPT usage to yourself. But even more so, sometimes it's about just not overthinking captions and just putting out content time and time again, and like trusting yourself that each time it's going to get better. Like you don't need to keep this bank of content like hidden on your phone. You need to put it out to the world. It's not impacting anybody in your note section. And so, like, for me, sometimes it's just about dumping the content out with it being imperfect. Make it a meme, make it a whatever, just get it out on the page. You can always come back and take posts from a year or 2 ago and repost them. I love that idea. Tawny had me do that a long time ago. She's like, you have all of these great, like, written posts about your journey. Like, you don't need to rewrite your content every time. Maybe it's just taking a piece of your journey from last year and then, like, asking ChatGPT to shorten it and then adding your own little paragraph about where you are now. So like work smarter, not harder with these tools, especially if you've been a content creator for a long time. And this obviously doesn't apply to people who are brand new to the space. But if you're more brand new to the space, I think just get your content out there. Even if you like, especially if it's reels or something, you are overthinking what your caption needs to be. Either ask ChatGPT to write you a long one, or just like say beautiful day, a freaking song lyric you like with some emojis. Like that's what the Gen Z kids like. So just post the reel with the goofy caption. Like just get it out, get it out, get it out. And focus more on what you're saying in the content. And like we talked about last time, typing the stuff on your screen that are the key words that you're trying to hit in the search and swiping them off. Because if you're focusing on that stuff more than the caption, that's going to impact a lot more. If you're using your voice to say the keywords, if you're, like that all matters a lot more than just the caption itself. Because the caption itself just going to like be like what 10% of how it sorts you. So stop overthinking it if that's where you're stuck.
Because I don't even read like I was gonna say, I know some people. I would like to ask, like, let us know down in the comments, do you always press on people's caption? On TikTok, I watch so many people's videos and I do not press on the caption. I don't give a crap what you're writing there. My attention span on TikTok is none. I just want to see what's on the screen.
Oh my God, it drives me nuts when I go to people's TikTok page and their captions don't make sense. And I'm like trying to find their stuff. I'm like, wow. So I'm the opposite. I do look at people's captions, especially if I like want to sort your page. So I guess that's also something to think about. Are you a person who wants people to stop in the news feed and just watch your stuff? Or are you somebody who wants to have the type of content that people can really easily like binge a part of your journey and stuff like that? So like that maybe you need to focus on a caption series for like if it's you telling your I'm just looking at Tawny. So like maybe it's you telling your story. So all of those have the same, you know what I mean, style caption. You can have ChatGPT write you a part 1, part 2, part 3, whatever, that all match together. So that way it's not that much pressure to, but that's basically my idea there. So like if you want content that people can follow, like reel to reel, short video to short video, then maybe create a series. But other than that, like just throw your stuff out there. It doesn't really matter because, like I said, Tawny's going to be the person seeing your stuff in the timeline and just keep like either watching or keep scrolling. But if somebody is going to your page to find stuff, maybe the important things in your story, we need to like have a caption that we can find them under.
Oh, Gilly, you look so adorable. And Annie, I'm so glad that Gilly came in right when you were saying that, because I think that's the most important thing is like you could go to whatever platform you're comfortable on and search like popular Instagram captions, and you could have a million gurus spit you out a whole bunch of things, but like it's more important to just have fun and to just do it and just post it and get it out there. But it does help if you can write like what it is about, because that's going to help it be like so people can follow the story. So like Annie said, if you can try and tell a little bit of story in there, even maybe if it's just a quote that means a lot to you, or like a music quote. Did you say? Yeah, you said lyrics. I see some people things that are just lyrics too.
Ooh, also, you can, if you say something as a series, that is like your only chance to like research something in your thing, because it'll be like episode blank and you can say of what it is. So like if you do like have a bunch of stories about like your life or that are like add together, you can make them a series on your page and retitle them that way. So, like, and don't feel like you have to go fully repost, although we are kind of on team repost this week. Tawny and I have been playing around with like reposting our old content, because if it didn't hit the first time, it doesn't mean it's not a good TikTok. Like I don't know why, like Tawny said that again to me and it like hit my heart this week. I was like, why did I forget that? I got like I broke 10,000 because I reposted a TikTok. Like I redid the TikTok and posted it. And that's what like it wasn't rocket science. It was the exact same TikTok, exact same wording. I just went outside.
I love it.
So like that hit my heart. So just don't be scared to like repost your stuff, because it might just not have been the right time of day. Like when I looked at our analytics, my time of day is now like 9 p.m., which yeah. Before it was definitely not. It was like 11 at like night and then like 4 in the afternoon. So.
And you may have been like, when I posted this one video, it wasn't relevant, but now it's Disability Pride Month. I added different words onto it and it is going bonkers. So it's really cool to, okay, I love it. Yes, the replay. She's so cute. Hello, Carol, birthday girl. Hi. The reposting things and how many people say that if it didn't hit the first time, what means it isn't going to do even better the next time or the third time. And so if you've been making a lot of content, and also one of my favorite things, Annie's taught me this, it's called B-roll, but basically it's like when you are just taking pictures or videos. I highly suggest videos because you can chop those up of you just doing normal things. So I'm sure we've all watched someone where they're like, I like to, if you're journaling, you can time lapse that. You know, you've probably watched someone make their coffee. Like those are things that are B-roll. You can take a video of yourself typing on the computer or something. And so what's really cool is it's trending. Those are the videos that people are looping and they're just putting a viral song over. And I'm sure you've probably seen it. It's like, start romanticizing your life and throw up a video that's in your phone and put it to this audio. And now, do those videos always do great? Not necessarily, but what's really cool is what I know is it's also good for building relationships because a lot of people like to see behind the scenes. Like you always see me from this side, but if you get to see a different angle, I know that, hey, I'm curious. I like to see the other angle.
Anything you film outside. Like if you have kids, put your phone down, chase your kids, play tag. I'm not saying like show the faces of your kids on that. Please don't hear that's such a thing. I mean like from the back, like run away from the camera with your kids in the good lighting. If you have a pet, go play fetch with your pet outside. If you have weeds to weed, set up a time lapse and videos yourself doing that. Like if you're gonna mow the lawn, videotape yourself going back and forth, like that. Like outside videos get like 50% more stops of scrolls than inside videos do, even inside videos with good lighting. So like if you can record a B-roll outside, that's something I would highly recommend. Or if you are in like a really fancy outfit, like if you go to a wedding or a formal event, like just setting your phone down and like walking to and from it. Those are also B-roll things. So it's not like you have to force these things. Like if you're washing your dishes, like little things, just make sure you have good lighting. Please, like set up your ring light. No, that sounds silly. You can film yourself getting out of bed, be that influencer person that everybody makes fun of. He sets up a camera to go get back in bed and fake get up, but whatever. People love that. But please set up a light. Like I don't have one on right now, and you can tell. I'll like I have that like that for a reason. I'll show you guys in a minute because I wanted to riff about like photos and stuff. But like there's a difference, and I even have you guys intentionally set up in front of a window right now, so there is still lighting. So please understand that like it's really important to have lighting. Can I tell you how key that is for content creation? Even if it means you go to Amazon and order a $15 ring light or the $35 one that clips on your phone you can take everywhere.
And I'm glad you said don't force it. Like one of the things that I like to do is right before I'm about to do a task that I think if you know you're going to be moving around, record it. And I know you're like, I'm outside pulling weeds and I'm going to be a hot mess. That's why I'm telling you a little tip. Do it in the very beginning of your activity and just record yourself. You don't need to do it for a very long time, a minute, a couple seconds, just like, what? You're throwing me off. You're like 5. I was like, if I supposed so don't like manufacture things that you wouldn't do. Like I don't run. So if I posed the thing up me running, people be like, why the hell's Tawny running? Like that's weird. But I will tell you with the dogs, I have shown it where I set my phone down up against usually a phone pole or a stop sign. And I walk my dogs with the leash back away from my phone. And then I walk towards my phone so that I have some footage of me walking with my dogs. Am I really walking my dogs? Yes. Was that manufactured for that moment? Absolutely. But like, don't try and make it so that you're like Annie said, don't feel like you have to manufacture these things, like set things up, like just do it in the moment and you'll be surprised what you can put your phone, especially with all these now holders and stuff that stick up against everything, like windows and all that kind of stuff. But you were going to show us the thing about
Well, I just realized I unplugged my ring light, so that was me being silly. But hold on, I plugged it in. I just wanted to talk about like basically that like you can find like lighting in your house even if you don't have it. Like I said, this is just my window behind me. That's all I have, and then you can add layers on as you can afford it. But like it's just really important, and it's also important to think about. This is where I kind of wanted to riff, and I think you'll like this too. Is I think often people get really up in their heads about like photo shoots and creating content, and I think the first thing is it matters if you're creating it for a product, for a person, like for yourself or your brand, or for like a digital product. Because like what you're going to create is going to be so different for those things. Like I'm even thinking about like what we do here. So like we'll take ketones. Like when I'm taking pictures for ketones, like to get people to like the drink, it's very, very different than when I'm recording myself for a story or when I'm taking selfies for my journey. Or if even then, those are significantly different than when I'm taking before and betters for my body. Like those are very different things. And then if I'm trying to sell like our coaching or whatever, you're selling it like an untangible digital product. So it's a lot more creative and we have a lot more license to create fun graphics and stuff. Like I saw my friend and one of my mentors, she made this awesome thing where she just took lettered beads for her digital program and just spelled out the name and then was like open now, limited time. Like it was so creative. It was just so like, you know what I mean? Like you're a little kid playing with beads. I used to play with beads all the time when I was a kid. She just spelled it. I was like, that was delicious. Like you get to be super creative with that stuff. So what and how you're marketing really matters to like the product creation. And I think everybody just thinks that like photo shoots and all of that is like one dimensional, but then when you have to think about it, it's actually a lot. Like what you need to set up to videotape or photograph your products is very different than you need to set up to videotape or photograph yourself or to make a reel. Like it actually is complicated. And so like I think people often just get swept up in like, oh, they're just content creators or oh whatever. But then you go to do it yourself and like you don't even understand the difference of the basics. So I just wanted to kind of like just acknowledge that it's very complicated for first timers and
Yeah.
that it's not just like one size fits all for content creation. Like maybe you don't have a studio space, maybe you don't have anywhere nice in your house and you need to go to Hobby Lobby and literally get like two fake tiles that you can stack. So like you stack one like this and one like this, and then you put your ring light there and you pretend it's like your counter and your wall and you have one little surface to take really pretty pictures, and maybe it's earrings or whatever, because I know Gilly was here. Maybe that's how you have to shoot your photos because you don't have a big studio backdrop.
Well, and what's funny is I'm glad you talked about the diversity, and we are going to talk about ketones because someone just asked what are ketones. Is that I started with jewelry and trying to get pictures of jewelry. I went to Pinterest trying to find out different angles, how I can do things, but honestly, just practicing and using outside light. Like you said, Hobby Lobby, you can create things. Like, don't feel like I don't have all the supplies, so I can't do it. Honestly, what's cool about social media, some of my photos that still get the most, like, are random ones that I took of myself by myself and just had good lighting and just caught a moment. So taking videos of yourself is an easier way because you can stop it and take screenshots. But ketones are either you see these little liquid guys, or sometimes, oh, of course, I don't know where I have a packet because I pretty much like these little liquids. But they are pure therapeutic ketones. So we drink them, you can mix them up, or sometimes you can have them just in a can, and they give you clean energy, this amazing focus. They are awesome for your mood because it actually balances your hormones. And I love that it suppresses my appetite and gives me control over my munchies and just like everything. So I did lose 50 pounds of fat with ketones, and it is not the keto diet. But I will tell you, I drink them every day for how they make my brain feel. The energy they give me, they clear up my brain fog. That's why I started drinking them, and that's why I drink them every single day, because I know how much better I feel drinking them. But I would love if Annie and Angela, because we all actually started for different reasons and probably drink them now for different reasons than we first started.
I first started ketones almost 4 years ago now. Actually, probably about 4 years ago, I bought a trial pack because I had been following this girl forever, and she literally messaged me for like 18 months about it. and I was super keto, and they sent me this video about this drink that would put me in ketosis, and I was like, yeah, I know what ketosis is. I do keto. Like, I make my own ketones. I don't need that. And I was like, I had not cheated on keto in so many months, and I was like just being so strict and so hard on myself. If you can relate, like drop a link in the comments, because like I being keto made me so strict with myself that it became like an addiction almost in its own right. And like I couldn't cheat. I had to be in ketosis all the time. Like, I don't get me wrong, I feel great in ketosis, but I was doing it like only through food and through like deprivating specific foods from my diet. And so I finally tried the ketones. Like one time when I cheated, I had them for like my like safety thing. And I was like, I'm gonna blood test, I'm gonna prove them wrong. Well, I blood tested after I ate pizza one night. I drank ketones the next morning and then blood tested an hour later, and I was back in nutritional ketosis, like according to my blood meter. So I had to eat my words, and I was like, okay, maybe I kind of like these things. And at the time, we only had like 4 flavors, and they finally released True Passion as a like mainstay flavor, and that was the first like whole box of ketones I bought. And I bought my promoter membership to promote the product on top of that. So that's like the beginning, and then over time, I not only like lost 50 pounds and maintained it, but now I really regained a lot more control over my like health, in that like I no longer feel like I'm struggling with a binge eating and dieting cycle. I was a really deep it was triggering that cycle for me. And so being on ketones and having that mood and energy support of being in ketosis without having to be super strict with myself has allowed me the freedom to go on dates, really get my relationship back, have really that food freedom I needed without having to cost the ketosis that I'd really liked for my fat loss and for my like just mentality and energy levels. So that's my ketone story.
And I love Angela.
Because there's thousands of flavors. Sorry. I should have added that. There's way more than 4 flavors now.
Now there's so
There's
many.
like
I was
100.
just laughing because Angela's True Passion. Like, if you want to share.
Yeah, and True Passion was actually the second box I bought when I started buying boxes for myself after trials.
And what was your favorite benefit? Like, what did you notice? Or like, what were you looking for? You're like, okay, I want it. Cause I was like, I want that lady's energy. When I first saw, I was like, I want that energy. And she keeps saying it'll clear up like brain fog. Like, I'm here for it.
My first things were energy, focus, and mental clarity.
On the phone, or are you on the phone?
Yeah, I'm on a Zoom call.
Oh, Mr. Shaw was wanting to talk to you for a minute.
Sorry. Hi, Mom.
Hi. Hang on 1 second.
Hold on.
I'll just mute her. That's what I love though, is like, you can be here, you can, what is the best flavor? Okay, so that's going to be a toss up. That's going to be to each their own. I will tell you that for me, because I really do love, like, it's seriously by my bed, the Naraha. I love the liquid ampules. I love that it's just like a nice orange tangerine. No, we're not on a family. Well, we are family. The Spark Squad is a family. And that is what I really love, is we can come here and we can talk and we can chat and we can share. And yes. And Annie.
I think you just lied to the people. I think that the flavor that's best are any of the ones that are 60% off on the website right now. Because
Okay.
60%.
Yeah, actually, if I had to go with the flavor right now, 60% off would be really good. Fruit punch. So Maui punch, I'm going to tell you right now, because I don't want anybody to get mad at me. Maui punch is decisive. It's a controversial though flavor. I'm gonna tell you it's controversial because some people love it. Okay, Annie said she likes it.
Dale likes it.
Okay, Dale likes it. I like it. My mom likes it. My dad likes it. Other people are like, I hate that flavor. And Jessie Lee said, she's like, I think only guys like it. And I said, well, shit, then I must be a guy because I like it. My mom likes it. I have had a lot of clients who like it. They say it does taste like fruit punch. I've had other people who say they don't like it. So the best thing I will tell you, 30-day money back guarantee on an open product. So can I mix it with vodka? Yes, you can. Have I mixed it? Yes, with vodka, tequila, and rum. We do have some flavors like Fresa Freeze, which is like a strawberry daiquiri. We have Mojito Night. So I've mixed that with rum. Now I am going to tell you, if you're looking at it for the fat loss benefits, mixing ketones and alcohol is not advised. Okay. So I was not drinking ketones for fat loss. I was drinking it for my energy. And for me, I liked it because if I have a daytime cocktail, I want to take a little nappy poo. But if I have some ketones and like I've mixed these bad boys in with some margaritas at a restaurant and I was like able to hang out with my friends instead of wanting to go nap. So
my go-to drink at weddings, because like weddings are so long and you like on the dance floor all night, I always I know this is maybe not the healthiest because like caffeine and alcohol, but I always bring a Mexican ketone of some kind, like the vials, and I squirt it into either like vodka and soda or tequila and soda. And like that keeps me lit all night. Like the packet will last me like 2 or 3 drinks. And I'm telling you, you will not be as sore the next morning. I don't know what exactly it does for your muscles when you're dancing that much, getting low on the dance floor, but I'm telling you, all my friends are super sore the next day, like, oh, we danced too much. And I'm like, hey,
mitoplex. It's the mitoplex too, because muscle cramps. So you're getting, that's why. So make sure you add mitoplex in there. Brienne, we were just talking about how we do mix our liquid ketones with alcohol. I can tell you energy wise, and also Laura, they just finished up doing one of the biggest research study on concussion patients and ketones, because ketones pass the blood-brain barrier. So they actually fuel your brain. That's why I say that the first time I drank it, it was, I know they say 59 minutes or less, you can test your blood. I can tell you in 20 minutes, it was like the lights turned on. My brain finally was like, I go, oh my God, the fog is lifted. It was like someone, you know, when you're in a dark hotel room and someone finally opens the door and the blinds and you can just like see and you can breathe. That is how ketones make me feel. Luckily they recommend 2 a day. I drink 2 a day. Have I drank up to 5 a day? Yes. Any more, your body will just pee them out. And yeah, down for a healthy drinking. So when I go up camping, especially in the altitude, if I don't drink these, I mixed one in with a twisted tea? Yes, I have. So it's just nice to have them on hand. The Mitoplex is upgraded electrolytes. So just super important to make sure you have those, especially with these free cell ones. Good that you drink alkaline water. And then I know it's not really tip related, but Laura, I can answer, unless wait, I should ask Angela if you had questions. Or I know I saw you comment about changing the title tags and descriptions on your Etsy, and I would love to share that because I know nothing about Etsy. So I only teach about things that I'm actually using and doing, and that's why it's so cool, because I don't really have a product that I can make like Angela does with her knitting. So she's
Angela's gonna go with you to the movies at 9:30 in the morning? All right.
Yeah, so what Etsy has you do is make a title, 13 tags, so 13 like 3-word key terms for people to search you in Etsy search. Which me just using my brain for 9 years to come up with things that I thought applied to it was a project. So writing this long description, 13 tags, a valid title that goes with it, that is short and not too broad, was a project. I like that I can tell this thing to write me a title, 13 tags, and a pitch for whatever my items are. Specifically, like burgundy double stranded single crochet baskets. And I can tell it to shorten the title, and it'll do the whole thing for me. And I can just copy and paste everything and edit the keywords how I want to for it to fit the thing.
I love that. You're saying how it's helping you. And I just thought about it. I think you could ask ChatGPT and say, as a small business owner of a knitting, can you write me an Etsy listing for, and then you could put in quotations, since you already wrote out what you thought would be okay, you could quote literally yourself, or you can quote books and ask it, ChatGPT, to rewrite it as a post or as a list. Like, holy smoke. I know. So sorry. Laura's over here. She's like, I'm lost. What is this conversation about? Okay. It sounds like we're talking in code, because in a way we are. So with social media, now what's really amazing is people who have hobbies, or I shouldn't say hobbies. This is not a hobby. This is a talent. You can actually, with your craft, before you had to like go to craft fairs, and that was the only place you could get your craft out into the world. Now with social media, Angela is able to use Etsy. And what we were saying is, before she was having to think up, and I guess for an Etsy listing, you have to have a title, you have to have all of these tags and these things. And it's a very specific criteria, and it has to be short. And Angela is now finding that she can just use ChatGPT and it's writing it for her. So it's like saving her time. And so that's just something really cool. And so I know we talked about how we were using ChatGPT for captions. Like, you can ask ChatGPT to write you hooks, like give me a list of 20 hooks that social media, and you can make it fit you. So like my hooks would be different, because I would say a 35-year-old mermaid. Annie's would be different. And like, maybe you don't identify with your age and you're like, that's not my ideal client is not a 35-year-old. Cool. Maybe I just don't always want to attract just mermaids. So that's why I don't always say a mermaid. And it's just been kind of cool to play around over there. So I know it sounds up there. But again, with the whole, like, you don't need to use ChatGPT. Don't feel like you have to. It's just something that is a new tool that we're having fun with. But at the end of the day, just getting your content out there, that's going to be the best way to see and to grow. I mean, that's always been my rule on any new platform or any new thing, is just to do it and just try. Because you don't want to be an analysis paralysis.
What the heck are you posting on Threads? I feel like I can't even speak over there. Like, I'm so scared to post even one thing. I don't know what the heck to say. Can we talk about that, please?
Okay, so there's different, what do you guys think? So on Threads, what I'm hearing from people is it's like quotes and like trying to like your inner thoughts more, because some people over there are like just pitching their stuff, and I'm like, no, this is not a billboard for your things. Like, I don't want that. I want to know, like, I don't know. I know my meme game is strong, so I've kind of just been sharing inappropriate, funny things that like,
Okay.
because I feel like Instagram is like my more business, like brands will want to work with me, that's kind of thing. And then like Threads is like your diary with your friend, like your little notes that you would pass along with friends.
Oh, that's spicy.
Yeah. What do you guys think? If anybody else, even some of you guys might be like, what the hell is Threads? Who just said that? Who just, yep, Angela, what the?
I thought it.
And that's okay. And at the end of the day, I wish more people would have told me earlier when I started out, instead of, I love me some Gary V, but don't come for me. I kind of wish he wasn't the first social media person I found, because he's like, if you aren't doing 10 on everything, like you need to have a podcast, you need to be on YouTube, you need to be on Instagram, TikTok, blah, 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 and try and do it. Because I will tell you, I feel like a lot of times, I just like, I spread myself too thin. And if you're ever wondering the links that I have, as in most of us, if you go to the profile, usually there is like a little link. So I don't know if you're able to hit links here, but I'll try and drop it. Sorry. That's for a $20 off code. And every one of us has a $20 off code. So please go to however you found us, contact them back. If you're like, I don't know, then just drop it down below. We'll help you out. Spark Squad, we got you. We got you covered. And if you're catching the replay, you can ask questions or join us next live next Thursday. And hopefully the technology, who knows, we're learning every day. And that is a big thing. Please don't stop yourself because you think your technology is janky. The amount of times I've had not the best phone or not the things, and like I can tell you, look at some of those viral videos. It's not even like the best video or anything sometimes. Just something very interesting. So I hope it commented it. Does anyone want to add?
Sorry.
No,
I
you're
got clompity dompity animals over here.
we have like that awkward where it's like a minute 51, so it's not quite can cover a new topic or anything.
Oh,
Okay.
hang on. Like, I also think just like the most important thing to round out this conversation is just like you have to just trust yourself enough to put it out there. Like, you're gonna have imposter syndrome no matter what when you start posting on social media. The only way through the imposter syndrome or feeling a certain type of way about it is to just get it out there.
Yeah.
So like celebrate with a trusted friend, send it to one of us if like you want support, like just celebrate that it's out there. And the worst case scenario, if it doesn't hit, it doesn't whatever, you can archive, please don't delete, but like just get it out there and see what happens, because you never know, the silliest piece of content might absolutely go viral. The repost of something you posted a year ago with a different song might catch 10,000 followers. Like just put it out there and trust yourself enough to know that it was not you or your content being bad. It just was the algorithm. It just didn't hit. No matter what, like stop beating yourself up and being obsessed with the vanity metrics. Like they do not matter. Just keep posting, post it again in a few days. Like from somebody who's been around the block a long time, like please hear that. Like just keep posting. It will get better. You will get the views. It's not you. It is not personal. Stop taking posting so personally on social media. How you do is no reflection of who you are as a person. So find something to do at the end after you post for the day that has nothing to do with it. Getting the post up is the win, not how the post does.
Yep.
So like celebrate yourself, take care of yourself, and like remember to love yourself outside of social media, because that's what matters way more than how a social media post ever does.
As long as you're having fun, just enjoy it. If you like your own content, who cares if anybody else does?